Hello guys, it's Mungai Eve. Welcome to the Mungai Eve Show, and of course it's the #1 online TV show. And guys, today I'm hosting one of the best yani huyu guest mtapenda sana. I'm having Jane Mugo herself, the detective spy. Yani leo tunapiga story, na kama kuna mtu nataka achunguze vizuri tunamchunguza. Anyway, Jane, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Tumepiga story hadi sasa na filisha kujua vizuri.
Yeah, lazima utulie. Yeah.
Wow, our spy queen.
They call me that. Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
I found it actually online with the BBC documentary, but especially, I don't know why, but they always say I'm the best spy queen in Africa, actually. Because they interviewed a lot of women, and they realized that I've done a lot of extraordinary cases and a lot of work in Kenya and other countries. So they said the spy queen in Africa. Because I think of the nature of the work I've done. Yes.
Do you believe you are the spy queen in Africa?
I think Africa is small to me, I think in the world. Yes.
In the whole world?
When you talk about Africa, to me I feel it's small. Because I've done so much for my country and other countries. I've traveled in the line of looking for justice for people. So it's not just Africa. Maybe the BBC spoke about Africa because they were able to interview people in other countries within Africa. But maybe they have not been able to go to Norway, South Africa. Other countries have gone and fought for people's justice. Just so that's why they said Africa, because that's where they've gotten more about me. Yes.
What are some of the countries that you visit or you've gone to help people seek for justice?
Yes, thank you. I've been to Norway, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Turkey, I've been to, of course, the local countries, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and I think those are 8 countries that I've gone. And I'm planning, maybe with the time I'm going to be going to Netherlands very soon. Yes.
All of these countries umeenda tu kwa line ya job?
Yes, in the line of duty, and then you find yourself, of course, since I also do a lot of charity work, when I go to work, at the same time I combine working and doing charity work. Yes.
Wow, you've talked of BBC. So many people online got to know you after that video. I'd like to know, how has your life been since then? Did it change? Pia online now kuna advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, basically, yes, I've been online before that. And the reason why the BBC actually wrote me an email, I remember they've been chasing to secure an interview with me for about 6 months. It's because about 2019, I have been posted by maybe one of the, we call them Githeri Media or local newspaper, because of a case I was following, and that's how the BBC got to know me. Because at one time, I've received 2015, I got a certificate given by my government as the best private detective in Kenya. I did training with my government to train people on CPO, that is close protection officers, intelligence, and a lot of things. So when the BBC find, here comes 1 month, you're given certificate as the best, then the second month you're being written in the newspaper negatively. So they wanted to know, we want to see what kind of a woman is this. And they've been following my pages. You do a lot of charity organization work. So basically that's how they found me. And my life has never been the same, I want to be honest with you, Eve. Because sometimes there are cases that I genuinely don't do as a CEO of Trimo Security and Private Investigators Limited. When I'm the face of the company, so I don't do the investigation anymore. What I do,
before you used to?
Yes, I used to do it actually before. I could go for field, I could do undercover job. Ungenipata na buibui, ungenipata even working as a house girl, ungenipata maybe working as maybe a bar attendant. You'd find me even working as a Kenya Power person, water, those kind of places. I could work anywhere to get information or justice. But when I knew that it changed, because everywhere you go, actually I think two days ago, I was out of town and I went to a certain hotel, and a certain guy, a politician, was there seated, and I believe maybe it was not doing something bad with a certain lady, and guess what? He just went to leave the bill unpaid and was telling the waiters, please bring me my bill in the hotel, in the room. That detective, ukimwona pahali, she's come to work. So people, sometimes you go to hotel, you go to restaurants, I've been to places, people think I'm out to do work, but in the real sense, I'm not always on duty. Because as a detective, as a person who is known, who become a public figure, I don't do investigation. I have young people who are coming, private investigators and young men who are training for them to become the better investigators for tomorrow and patriotic Kenyans. Yes.
Okay, comparing yourself doing the job, and now that you have to send your people to do it, is there a big difference?
Yeah, to be honest, there's a difference, because sometimes Like I remember when I was attacked, when I was kidnapped last year, I think you can see all the fractures all over my head. I was kidnapped in the reign of duty, and then I remember after that I got into politics. There's been a very big difference in my life because some of the clients who have cases of criminal cases, debt correction, domestic cases, they would come to the office, and when they don't find the CEO is not in, they're like, we are going back, so they will not even pay. They'll just leave their assignment, they leave their contacts. So actually most of them have started contacting them after I came back from politics from Kirinyaga. So there's a very big difference. Yeah, there are those kind of cases, for instance, collecting of debt, checking on spouses, domestic cases. Sometimes people want maybe to trust me. Yes, I have staff who are very good, who are very honest, who are very aggressive, but some of the high profile cases, some of the sensitive cases, especially maybe case involving a top government official, a politician, the people don't want to handle to my staff with my staff. They want to give the work to me. So there are those cases is nanipita too, especially when I was sick. But I'm happy and I thank God. I think since the new government took over, business is coming back and work is coming back. Yes.
So right now, can you still do it? Maybe that high end
Yes.
duty, you can still do the duty yourself.
I can do the duty myself, but the last duty I think I did myself is not in Kenya, out of the country. And if I'm to do it, if worst come to the worst, for instance, there's this type of work that you have to do it, but of course I cannot do it the way I am. Of course, that means I have to change my dress code, everything starting from nywele, lazima kama ni nguo buibui ama nguo zingine. But in the real cases, I want to be honest with you, the last time I did an investigation job it's about 6 months ago. Most of the time I said to my staff, I sit in the office, I meet my clients, I guide them, and maybe I do reports. That's what I do, yes.
Okay. Has it in any way slowed down your work?
Yes. Like when I'm not able to go do the work, yes, because there's some clients will come and tell me, like some clients will pay a ticket to me. Let's say somebody's in Mombasa or even Tanzania or even Kisumu. They say, I want to meet you personally. And maybe you're not feeling well or you got another case. So if I don't go and I meet my staff, the clients are not ready to meet a third party. They want to meet me as Jane Mugo. So sometimes I'm forced to multitask. Sometimes I get overwhelmed, bearing in mind I'm not only doing investigation, I'm also a CEO and a founder of a charity organization called Trimo Humanitarian Watch, CBU. It's a community-based organization whereby I've brought in all the orphanage home I've been supporting, the children that I've been supporting. We have cases of vulnerable cases whereby sometimes children get to be raped, defiled, they get to be victim of human trafficking. They get to be they get to be misused by maybe drug dealers to be peddlers, and they get arrested and they're taken to the police or they're taken to court. When these children leave maybe the court or the prison or the police station, they have nowhere to go, and most of the time they bounce into crime. So like I'm also having that organization I've been trying to train these people, I've been trying to guide them, to mentor them, especially the ones who are talented, so that they don't be able to stop crime in this country. Because by having these children, street children from orphanage home, when there's nowhere to be guided, to be taken, most of the times when they reach 18 years, the orphanage home tell them, you are 18 now, jichukulie, ujipange, you go on your own. But can you imagine you're telling an orphan who have used to live with other children in an orphanage home, they have nowhere to go. So my rescue center is, I'm just learning Trimo security and at the same time my center, which I've been doing this for many years, but I'm going to officiate it on 5th of November. That will be on Saturday. It becomes a bit difficult for me. Napata, you are home, I'm tired. Clients are calling me because they want my attention. I have my 2 boys. I'm the mother and the father of my family. There are those people, sometimes couples are fighting at night. Some even want detective tunapigana hapa, a certain area. Please, can you give us the contact of the police station, the nearest police? You understand all those kind of cases. Because basically, deep in my heart, I'm passionate about fighting for people's justice, and I'm passionate about serving community and serving God.
Okay, being a private detective, in
Yes.
any way, has it pushed you so much to love helping people? And is it the reason that you're coming up with a rescue center?
No, it's not the reason, because I remember when I finished Karoti Girls, that was about 2002, it is when I started doing community work. from where I come, Kirinyaga County, Gishugu Division. I'm born at a place called Kiamboi Village. That's where I come from. I salute my mom and my dad, Mr. and Mrs. Peter Mugo, my brothers and sisters. But why I'm doing it, it's something that it's born in me. As I was telling you, I was in Karoti. I was the Catholic Action Leader in Karoti Girls when I was in Form 3. And then I also became the head girl in Karoti. So I've grown to be a leader. I've grown to lead others. I've been a girl guide. I'm also a director of a round group in Loido called Loido Pioneer Round Group. I'm their director. And I've gone to training. I forgot to tell you that I've been to Nigeria, sent by the Lion Group, and we went there for leadership training. And when you go there, you're only taught about giving back to community and leadership. So giving back to community is not because I become a private investigator. It's because I started doing it when I was a small girl. I remember the first time I started a project of giving back to community. I was 20 years old after I finished my Form 4. And we built a police station around my home area, a place called Mururi, and it was called Jenpeste Police Station. We also built some pubs over there because a lot of the thugs that are coming to steal our vehicles and a lot of property. So giving back to community, in short, see, I've not started now. It's something I've been doing since I was 20 years old. So I thought the only thing maybe my legacy can remain. Yes, I've fought for many cases, the online, others are not known, but by having my foundation, it's going to help people who are my children, people, of course, we are getting old, we are growing old daily, a legacy that I can leave and it can be remembered of what did Jane Mugo do when she was young or when I had the strength and the power to do it. Yes, so I'll be launching it on 5th. Yes.
Okay. Jane, let's talk about a private detective.
Yes.
I think most people are not familiar with what exactly it entails being a private detective.
Yeah.
And we've seen you, there's a clip that went viral sana. Ile ya, ni karate abani?
Yeah, taekwondo.
Taekwondo, ulikuwa na train, and people tried to question your professionalism. They were like, this lady, is she really a detective? So you can tell us more about being a private detective.
Okay, being a private detective entails, first of all, you must be able to understand the law. You must be able to understand criminology or justice. You must be able to have undergone a training of security. Maybe you could have been working as a police officer. Maybe you could have worked as a lawyer. Maybe you could have passionate about community work. And you, of course, sometimes people get to be passionate about their career and they get to be attached and they get to love that job and they become better than people who are trained. But for me, having worked with the police for about 8 years undercover,
so you've worked with the police?
Yes, I've worked with the police for many years. Having been given certificate by my government, having solved many cases of national interest, including the NYS, including a lot of cases I'm not able to mention here. Murder cases, I don't want to mention the robbery cases, the murder cases I've done because that is past, but it's there, it's in the public domain. And those who know me, including the senior top government officials, they know me from the previous regime and the current regime. First of all, one has to be able to understand the law so that when you're working, you don't break the same law that you're protecting. And what happens in most of the time, why people go for private investigators, in some situation that people are forced to do that. In criminal cases, you find that Kenyans will go report a case of robbery, of murder. A phone has been stolen in a police station. And sometimes police are doing very good work, but sometimes they get overwhelmed. For instance, you go to a police station, assumingly like Central Police Station, they have about 3 vehicles for operation. The vehicle has gone to visit a scene of somebody who committed suicide. Another car has gone to visit a case of murder. And then here comes this robbery. Here comes your car if your phone has been stolen. Police cannot be able to do all the duty work. And that is why we actually, the other day, we wrote a letter to the parliament. It was saying private investigators should be like a backup to the government. Because when this senior police, this senior military, this senior government, civil servant misbehave, who is supposed to put them on watch? You don't expect a certain OCS of a certain station has committed murder or robbery. You expect a junior officer to investigate them. No, they will not. It is only the private investigators, it's only the patriotic Kenyans who can investigate them so they can be able to expose them and maybe bring justice to them. So that's for the criminal cases. So we normally come back up. That is for criminal cases. Private investigators are very important when it comes to cases of domestic cases. You are looking for asset of your spouse, you have a matter in court, you have a divorce case, and maybe you want to know how much asset does your spouse or your husband has. The only person who can investigate that is not a police officer, it's only a private investigator who can investigate the asset so that they can give this to your lawyer, and your lawyer can go to court. So when your spouse is coming and saying, for example, Trevor comes today and says, sorry to use that, but that's okay. Trevor comes today and says, baby, I only have 2 pieces of rad. You have 5 and put them on table. And then a private investigator is able to investigate and come and tell you, no, this guy has 6 pieces of rad and in this place. So in case of anything happens between the two of you, be it you want to invest together, be it you want to separate, maybe the assets can be divided equally. So that's very important. There's something we call background check. You want to get married to maybe a woman, a man, and then maybe does not tell you, maybe I had 5 children. So it is good maybe for a private investigator to be a background check. So when you do a background check of a spouse, you can be able to advise the other party even before maybe they get married. So basically, it's very important. There are cases also private investigators get to be involved, even by government. Sometimes government wants to follow up on civil servants, banks, corporates, parastatals, NGOs. They want to know background check, or they want to profile their staff. And because sometimes it's not they've not done any criminal, it's a pure civil matter, they will involve a private investigator to find out on that. Those cases that you think you've reported them to the police not that because they have refused to work, maybe they are overwhelmed, the vehicles are few, they are few themselves. Private investigators come in hand to do the same work. They report to the police or they take the matter to court using lawyers. So it's always good to have that one private investigator, not necessarily John Mugo. Yes, we talk about John Mugo because most people know me, but you can have other upcoming, like I'm training about 16 guys. 2015, I trained 15 who are now big guys. They have opened their farms in Kenya and out of the country. I'm training other guys so that tomorrow there are people who can be able to stand up and say, this is not right. A police officer is investigating a matter. Your car has been stolen. Maybe you go and report the matter to the police. There's an OB number, and then when you tell them, can you be able to go and please help me recover my car? Sometimes police will tell you, we don't know where the car is. A private investigator comes in, she investigates or he investigates and come and tell the police, this car was stolen, here it is. You recover the car. So it is very important to have very professional people who are private investigators in Kenya and all over the world, in the country, even the US, go to even modern countries. Private investigators are all over and they're recognized, they're respected. Maybe it's only in Kenya because sometimes I think because I'm a woman. In Kenya, they don't believe that a woman can do male job, like what men can do, women can do. But personally, I do better than most of the men. Yes.
Okay, do you feel, you've said that you guys even wrote a letter to the parliament.
Yes, want to be recognized and want to be given that kind of like a backup by the
Does
government.
it mean that you guys feel like you're not recognized?
Sometimes, there are sometimes when you do a case, I'm giving an example about my service, Chain Mugo. I have had cases of private investigators being arrested and fixed in court of law. You're fixed by maybe sana. It goes not for everybody. A few police officers who are law, a few police officers working with a criminal. Maybe you've a member of even a member of public. They have information about these guys are committing crime. They go report the matter to the police. Then the foreign, can you imagine the same suspect or criminal is arrested, they'll come back and shoot you dead or they come for you. But you see, sometimes these cases come through private investigators. We go take up the matter. So the reason why we need to get involved is because I remember this time when Githu Muigai was the Attorney General, and I have that cutting of the newspaper. He said private investigators or whistleblowers should be paying 10% of every money that they recover go to government. But in most of the cases, we have been brought cases. Personally, my company, Trumo Security, I've been brought 6 cases of national interest. I have done recovered money for my government, 80 billion, but ironically, that money go to the pockets of men and women. The same guys who take information too, you find them driving big cars, living large life. Me mwenyewe, I'm driving maybe 1 car or 2 cars for the last 10 years. And these people who you are taking the information to, they end up maybe get compromised by the suspect. So private investigators should be independent so that in case whereby a police officer, a civil servant, a politician, somebody who think they are powerful, they get involved into crime, they get to break the law. They can get people to put them on their watch. It will be very important because we've done good work before. But in sometimes, yes, sometimes you get to be recognized, but there are times like people try to witch hunting you because of the good work you've done. That's why sometimes you find that people are trying to defame me, to kidnap me, not because I'm a criminal, just because they feel they're untouchable. Yeah.
You've touched about the incidents that you were kidnapped.
Yeah.
We only saw the news online. We saw you in the hospital. Later we saw you ukiwa umefungwa mikono and everything, but we've never got to know what exactly had happened, and maybe the ones who were behind it were they arrested, or how is it?
Basically, yes, I remember I was on the line of duty. I had gone to fight for a case. This particular woman who has been, okay, I don't want to speak about that, but let me just say I was on duty. And actually I was accompanied by my staff, but unfortunately, when I was working, I fell ill and I was admitted in hospital one night because my pressure was too high. I wasn't feeling like, and I was telling you sometimes I get overwhelmed. I'm learning some orphanage, I'm learning my children, I'm learning my personal life and all that. So when we just stopped, I got admitted in hospital, my guys left, and then they came to pick me that particular day. And of course, some guys, of course, were trading us, of course, tracking my phone and tracking my stuff, and they were able to shoot on us the front tire, and they were telling us to stop when you'd already stopped. There are about actually 3 vehicles. I remember I had 2 bodyguards. The 2 bodyguards were sandwiched in between 2 vehicles, a Probox and a Subaru. Personally, I was sandwiched between 4 men in a Subaru. And we just drove, and there was like, we are police officer, but I told him that, by the way you came, you are thugs. Police officers don't go to arrest people shooting in the air. As after all, I'm a woman. Why were you so much scared? Because they thought they'd been told Mugo has 3 guns. So they came prepared maybe for a shootout or something like that. But thank God, no one of us shot back. No one of us who defiled to stop. We cooperated and got into their cars. And as they're saying that, they said we were being called by the CCIU Kisumu, somebody, Mr. Wanjao, somebody I know, and I'd already spoken to him because I was doing some work and he knew what I was doing in Western Province. So they treated us general, and they said, you're being called. What did I do? Then they told me, your staff were involved in a crime. So I'm like, involved in a crime? Of course I knew it was a lie, because one thing, you cannot come to a Kenyan, actually, even to me, and say you're a police officer and you don't want to identify yourself. You want to force me to get into your car. It is your right, even any other Kenyan, it's your right for you to tell a police to identify themselves. It is the right, the duty of Kenyan. If you see somebody being arrested in an unusual manner, to take a picture, a video, and maybe that picture or video can save a situation, because that's what happened to my case. We got into the car, but these guys pretended they just wanted to go for a shortcut. But unfortunately, they didn't want to go for a shortcut. They were pretending. I was there seated and just taking my medication, and I found them pulling me down off the vehicle. And one of them, I remember the big guy who was in front, that was the commander. He's one who removed the big, I don't know, it's called rungu, that one for the axe. And he started beating me here on my head. I started bleeding, and then I was protecting myself. Remember, I'm a taekwondo and karate, I've done my training, and of course, you have to protect my brain and all that. So it was like a fight between me and him. These other guys who were in the car never touched me, nothing happened. They never used their guns on me until it reached somewhere. The kidnappers started fighting among themselves, because I remember one of the kidnappers, he told them, touch again, warning. So it's like, I think that was God, maybe because of the good work I do to the community. Because 6 men with a gun, and here I am, I'm safe. They were fighting among themselves. And then after that, I fell down bleeding. My hands were weak because these hands were broken up. Everything was bleeding, and then I couldn't do anything. So when these other guys who had Subaru left them, the one who was beating me was one of the guy. I think he feared. He was like, I'm alone. And then it's when he left the rungu, he lashed, and he was able to chase after the car. Then they left.
Okay, after they kidnapped you, did they tell you what exactly they wanted?
No. This guy, they didn't say. Remember, all throughout the road, they were telling us that we are being waited by a senior police officer in Kisumu. And this senior police officer is someone I've worked with, Mr. Wanjao, when he was in the flying school. I've worked with him, so it's someone I know, someone I have his number. But they were saying they've been sent by him, but unfortunately, when I tried to remove my phone to call him, or the lawyer, they snatched my phone. So basically, there's not much I could do, but they threw the phone, actually. Yes, because I could not get that phone after that.
For how long did you stay at the hospital?
I stayed in hospital for a whole month.
For a whole month?
Yeah, but I stayed without a phone, I guess, for a whole week, yes. Yes.
After that, have you been able to maybe to investigate, know the kidnappers, and have you aligned them in court?
But we have the police body that investigate, that's the IPOA. The work is to see, it's an oversight authority that normally investigates the conduct of the police or the conduct of maybe some people involved in government and what they're doing, especially the police. They are investigating the matter, the investigation is going on. I told them actually the other day when I recorded my statement and my staff statement, and even my doctor, the government doctor filled the P3. I told them I think I want to leave these guys to God, because I've come to realize in life the best revenge comes from God. Yes, I know one of the people who kidnapped me, but I'm not interested on revenge. I think I want to leave this to God, because they tried to kidnap me. They didn't kill me. They had guns. They could have done it. But maybe God wanted me to serve community in a bigger way. So basically, if I'm not going to pursue the kidnappers, though I know them, yes.
So you know them, but
yes, I know. That's not a secret. My family know them. My children know them. My lawyers know them. But personally, I forgave them. Yes.
Okay.
It's not worthy to pursue. Yes.
Okay. Was it your first time to
yes
get attacked?
Yeah, it was the first time to get attacked in that, physically attacked. But I remember still, 2017, I remember I was in my favorite joint with Akina Tuok, the Akina Piela Makena and all that. There's a couple of to go and listen to music somewhere in a restaurant. And I remember some guy bought us some whiskey actually. And of course, we were like, who is from this guy? Kawaida, I don't take a drink, I don't take a meal from anybody. But they were like, hey, those girls go and say, tell Madam Jane Mugo, it's one of her fan or follower who has bought a drink. But by the time you looked behind, the guy had already gone. But remember, the waiter has brought the drink. So basically, the first thing we did was to look at the drink and to tell the girl, you are the one who have been sent to bring the drink. Can you open it up? And when she tried to open it up, it was already opened. And of course, we realized there was something like, it was not okay, and the drink had been put poison. So maybe I didn't follow up with the police. I didn't follow up because I told the waiter who had been sent, maybe you are still the same lady who put the poison, or maybe somebody sent you and you're innocent. So I could not have taken it. And again, this guy already disappeared from the table. So people have tried to poison me that particular time. They've tried to threaten my children, my two boys, but they've never succeeded. But every time I think about this, these things make me strong. They make me closer to God, and they make me do community work with one heart.
Okay, what have you learned throughout the process? People trying to kidnap you, people trying to poison you, and how do you ensure that your family members are safe?
Yeah, first of all, I want to tell you that we don't eat out of the house with my family. If I'm to eat a meal or a snack, I have to do it like with my team, all of us, like a team, not like as an individual. I don't go eating in the hotels. It's hard to see me seated ordering food. If you see me, it must be maybe somewhere you know, and maybe you are in a group of people. And also sometimes if maybe you have a nanny and then you don't trust, or a house manager, we always make sure that they taste the food that they are cooking. It's ladum. It's like ladum, not all the time. So we just make sure, maybe when you go to a hotel, maybe to a restaurant, or maybe in a cottage, because sometimes when I go to work out, I prefer having cottage. I can cook for myself. You make sure the people around you, they have to taste the food. Or even you just avoid eating from strangers, in short. Yeah, and we don't just go to places. We don't go to any place. We don't wake up in the morning and say we're going for holiday. We don't wake up one morning, we say we're going to this church. We only go somewhere. Sometimes we have something called advanced surveillance, and sometimes our very good CPUs right now, very good bodyguards, they go ahead of me to check on the situation.
Okay, in any way have you ever felt like this job has made you not to live a normal life? Because the kind of life you're living is not like any other person's life that they live out here.
Yeah, there's a time I wanted to quit this job, especially when I was put in the newspaper as a criminal. And of course, I know I'm not, and I know the people who did it because they're criminals I was investigating. I wanted to quit, like to resign, and then I sat down and I said, wait a minute, I have my boys, I have the dependents, I have many orphans who look upon me. Sometimes I take care of my parents, though I have other sisters and brothers. And then I say, how will I pay my bills? I have bills to pay. I have car to fuel. I have salaries to pay. I have staff who paid on me. I have Kenyans. I have people who sometimes will get like to look for me, today sinaunga. Not that because I have money, but sometimes I find myself sharing the little food that I have with someone, even strangers I don't know. So this is the only thing that put food on my table. And because I'm not able to come and get to be a journalist like you, I'm not going to get to be a barmaid. I'm not going to get to be any other person. It's my career. I love my job. I have to continue doing it and telling God to give me another day to serve him in the community. Yeah.
Okay, how do you ensure that your kids are safe wherever they are? You know, you cannot move around with them every time. You have to go to school, you have to do kids' activities. How do you ensure they're safe?
Of course, in school, where they go to school, both of them, one is in the university, the other one is in one of the schools, international school. The school know that the situation. So no strangers who can go visit my son from school. I don't have to use the bus of school. I don't have to use the personal car all the time. So sometimes I keep changing. Even myself, I don't just use one car throughout. But still, we say you may have bodyguards, you may have guns, you may have who and who in this country, you may have powerful people around in you. But at the end of the day, I believe the best security comes from God. Because I've seen people, even if you've seen people being shot and dead, with bodyguards and with even powerful in the country, in the world.
True.
Yeah, you protect yourself and tell God to do the rest. Yes.
Well, you've mentioned about you being named as a criminal.
Yes.
Yeah, there have been cases where before you've been named as a criminal.
That particular case, yes.
Yeah, that particular
2019 case. Actually.
2019, we saw it, it kind of appear kotini.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, how did it go?
The same guys who took the matter to court, that was 2019, 2025, 2020, I think it was 2020, they just went and withdrew the matter. And they said, we are being used by our police bosses to defame you, to fix you up, because we're investigating them. The matter was withdrawn. I think maybe I should send you that link. It's still on social media. And ironically, if the same journalist and professional journalist, the one who wrote the case, calling me a criminal because they were paid by people I was investigating. What I find funny, and sorry to say this because not all journalists who are professional. The quarter of the journalists I know are very good professional, they are my friends. But we have this quarter journalists who are unprofessional and to get compromised. They never told Kenyans that Jane Mugo's case was withdrawn.
Yeah.
Why? Because their interest, the negativity of maybe what can trade or try to bring Jane Mugo down. They've never spoken about it, but the case was withdrawn. Only one matter that one is the one I was telling you, was fighting for some Indian couple that the people wanted to throw them away to remain with their property. It was a family dispute of assets. It finished. Then there was this other case. My clients had taken somebody to court because somebody had called him 40 million. We arrested this guy. Imagine the guy was taken to court, Makandara court. He served in industrial area. When he came out of jail with his daughter, after 3 months, they went to a police and said, Jane Mugo threatened us. After 3 months. Whereas you know very well, the case of threat, somebody threatened you today verbally, on phone, physically, you're supposed to report it on the spot. But these guys went to report the OB in Spring Valley Police Station after 3 months, after weeks, just because it was an afterthought. And the person who is complaining that Jane Mugo threatened them, they are criminal, somebody who spent 6 months in industrial area because of refusing to pay money from a class. So that case, I've been there, you go to court since 2019, it's postponed, the judge is not here, the complainant is not here. It's like 4 then 4. You pay lawyers back on a choker. Sometimes even you just say whatever goes. And you remember that it was hot, 2019, up to today, nothing happens.
No justice.
Nothing. See, because they know there was nothing. It was just they were trying to fix me up. They're trying to intimidate me, to blackmail me. Yes.
Okay.
So, but the other one officially they withdraw. The other one keep on coming, but nothing happens in court from 2019 up to today. Na unakumbuka vile ilikuwa moto moto, hakuwa napumua. But thank God I took myself to court. Nobody arrested me. I was given a bail, and then the matter was withdrawn. It was given back my cash bill of 200,000. Yes.
Wow, I've mentioned earlier about the video that so many people got to know you about.
Yeah.
The BBC video, the video that you were doing the taekwondo, and then kuanguka nini. I would like to know more about that video. There are people who felt like you are unprofessional. Jane Mugo, she's not serious. She's not really a detective. People questioned your professionalism.
That is, I don't regret it. If today, if you tell me to get to be humor, if you tell me to fall down to do what, I will do it. You're a journalist. And these particular guys, remember, they are guys from all the way from London. They came here and camped in Kenya, looked for me for 6 months. They got me the 7th month because I also doubting them. Just the way, like, sometimes you're telling me you received me, so doubt people. So when I got to accept the interview, the guys for those 6 months, everybody could tell them, detective is a very serious person. She's always on stone face when she's doing her work. And so they could not get me. They actually remember the interview, the request for the interview was on emails. And I remember very well when, during the interview, I was doing the interview in one of my farmhouse. They told me that people, Kenyans, the world, people think you're a very serious person. You don't have the other part of life of humor. And so I'm like, I told them I'm humor. I have the other part of me. Yes, I may be serious when there are no duty, but at the end of the day, I'm a mother. I'm a woman. Like, there's times you'll find me having fun, joking around. But when I'm on duty, I'm a different face. So the guys told me during the interview, can you just be humor, just to show the world it's not only being like serious all the time. I failed. I don't regret it. It was my compound, not someone's compound. So, but I'm happy because the journalists, the media, the Kenyans, a few, the public figures, whoever, these people are so idle. They had to wait for BBC to do a story for them to get something to make meme, which means I'm an important person in their lives. Because if Ladan didn't come to interview me, could they have gotten a meme? Could they have gotten something to trade? Imagine somebody, a media personality from another world, another country. They come interview me for a whole of 2 months. Doing this interview with Jane Mugo non-stop, daily, my home, my workplace, to the continent. Wow. And imagine now where you are, you're trying to, professionalism means what? Don't detectives have their personal life? They are detectives, they're magistrate, they're civil servant, they're politicians who does worse things on that they're not in the public domain. The only problem with Jane Mugo, because I'm a public figure, I fell, I will fall again today if you tell me, nitaanguka tena if, because it was the only thing I could show the other part of humor. I don't regret it. Hata kama nilisikia mgongo uchungu, the person who could have been most affected are my 2 sons, not anybody else. So those people are idols. These people, I'm sorry to use that name, but they're people people have investigated, criminals, haters, or people that they don't even think quite. I mean, if it was not that, maybe I could not have been known by other people. So it was fun, and I loved it, and I don't regret it. And it can never wear me down, because I've seen worse things than bullying. People have tried to bully me down. Nowadays, I have a stroke. If you try to talk nonsense on my page, I block, I delete. People don't do it. At least my followers have maybe some manners. Maybe they only go to somebody's page, but not my page. My page, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, if you write anything negative, rather than wasting my battles with you, I'll block you up. And those people, if you even maybe if you know that because you're a journalist, you've never been a victim, you'll find people writing negative comment about you. But when you try to follow that person, somebody has 10 followers. Or maybe this is somebody even close to you, a relative, a family, a friend, they're using swindle accounts. Those are cowards. So the best thing, you leave them, you move your life, and at my age, I'm over 40, if I'm not threatened by what people think about me. What threatens me, what scares me about in life, when I die today, what legacy will I leave to my children, my country, my orphans, and my God? I'm not care about human being. Human being can talk anything. Like I have a fundraiser on Saturday. I've been giving back to community. Maybe you've watched some of my YouTube, you've gone to my Facebook page. I've been serving community. Including that night, I opened lot whereby Kenyans, a woman almost died because she was pregnant during the COVID-19. Do you remember that story? Yeah. Kenyans, why, Detective Jane Mugo, we are happy, we thank you. But can you imagine, when you're launching an event, you realize that you're even telling people to come through and maybe register with 50 bob. They don't want, because Kenyans love to be given. And ironically, the people who are supporting me are not even, some of them are not Kenyans. Yes, I have about over 50 Kenyans who have registered for my organization, and I'm happy and I appreciate you guys. Anybody who has registered, I have other people I can't mention here who have supported me in kind for this event. People don't want to give. They just want to be given. They're like parasites. But is that going to stop me from doing my passion, my calling? I'll continue doing it in a bigger way because that's the only way God told me. Maybe the cries and the prayers of the children I help is what made me, maybe my life to be saved. I could have killed by kidnappers. But maybe I normally think back, God felt there's some work Mugo has not finished in this world. What police can't do, what some people in government can't do, Kenyans come to me crying. The foreigners come to me crying for help. I do it. But when it comes to me, maybe like asking for something, it's something unique. Yeah, but it's okay.
Okay, talking about yourself now as Jane, your private life, as you've said, you also, being a detective doesn't mean that you don't have your own life. Yes, you have your own life. I've seen you shared on your social media, your weight loss journey, you love working out and everything. I saw you have like a target where you want to get.
Yes.
You said by December you want to?
Yes, 95.
Yeah, you want to get to 95.
Yes, I've already just actually 5. Yeah, in 2 months.
Okay, what are you doing? Is it that just gym or
No, actually I have a gym at home, but I don't work out much. To be honest, what I do, I don't eat a lot of starch after 6 p.m. And then also sometimes I eat healthy. Yes, I walk. Yes, the dieting. Sometimes I have like a small pool, a family pool. I get into the swimming pool. I swim kidogo. If I have chance, I have dogs, so I walk with my dogs. If I get a chance, maybe I can. Walking is not all the time. Of course, for my security, I can't just be walking all over. But I do my gym and by swimming. I swim a lot. I normally get into the pool a lot. And I normally make sure I'm eating healthy. And I'm not doing it for any member of public. I want to make it clear. I'm only doing it for myself because it feels good when you're healthy.
You've been bullied before because of your weight?
Yes, somebody. I think, yeah, a few guys try to tell me I'm big, and then I'm telling, yes, I'm big, so what? I don't eat. You don't feed me. And then I told another guy, I don't want to say that. Anyway, it has happened, but they stopped. The ones who are doing it. And the same guys, especially men, who come to my DM crying for my number. Not because you've not given your number, they get to the comment section and like negative. That was then before, not now. At least now Kenyans have mannered up. They have grown up. They don't do it because if they do it, may I block you up. Maybe they can go to another page, maybe someone else's page, but not my page. And like we saw when doing the BBC, the ones who were doing that, BBC shut down their comment and deleted them because there are people have investigated as criminals, or they are haters, or their people don't believe in themselves. But to be honest, I'm strong. That has made me very strong. I'm not doing this because of anybody. I'm doing it for myself. Yes.
Okay, as we conclude, Jane,
yes.
Recently you shared on social media that you are now the president of single mothers. You are alone and you cut off your engagement. I would like to know maybe what happened, and are you in any way, is there room for my people who are watching? They try their chance.
That's the last question I expected you to ask me. I want to say yes. A few months ago, I had my silver beautiful ring. I don't have it today because someone just really put it on me and told me, you're the woman I want to spend my life with. And I think I was excited. I believed in him, but in the real sense, there are a few things that I came to realize is not what I was thinking about him. After immediately I posted, I shared the post is when now the DM, the emails, the phone calls started coming in. And of course, as an investigator, I can't ignore. So when I did due diligence about the information I got, I confirmed 50% was true, the other one was not true. So I decided, because I have children, I have baggage of my sons, the orphans, many dependents. I'm being watched as a mentor by so many people in the community. Why would I have a relationship or a man, and deep in my heart, I'm not at peace, so I don't have to serve the community? The Bible says, when the bird flies away, let it go. Is it an eagle or a bird? Let it throw away. If it's yours, it will come back. But deep in my heart, I moved on. And at the moment, I'm not searching. I'm so busy with my foundation. I'm so busy serving community, my sons. So I'm not excited, but I know love is sweet. What I know, I've not given up on love. And I've told God to bring someone. There's this particular one guy that God has kept for me. And though he's coming, and I want to enjoy it fully.
Who is your ideal guy?
Oh my God, will I answer now?
You said that there is that particular one.
He will come. I don't want to tell you the same. Maybe he's there already. Maybe he will come. But there's that particular guy God has kept for me. Of course, an honest person. Somebody who will always be there for me, understand my job. Somebody to be a figure to my sons. Intelligent person, God-fearing person. Somebody don't have to depend on me all the time. He's there. I know he's there. Maybe he's there, but he will come. You never know about God.
Yeah.
But when he come, I will welcome him with my 2 arms, and I want to enjoy life because love is so sweet. When it is practiced by the right person, it's so sweet. It feels good to be loved, actually. Yeah.
After you announced it, have you gotten maybe crazy people
Oh my God!
reaching out?
Hey, my PA should be telling you, Alicia. Actually, Villa Kombali should interview her. She should tell you this. I am telling you, my emails, my DMs are full. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Zinakuja na raini, zimefuatana. And I'm like, wait a minute, these guys are taking a hill. But I'm not excited. You know why? Because it just happened. Even the other one happened like that. I was there on the moon and now I went down. So I don't want to get excited of people telling me they love me. It will just come. It will just happen. For now, I have a lot of things I'm doing. But I know time is coming soon. But God want to bring someone to me. But at the moment, I have so much on my plate.
So the ones who are texting, they're not lucky this time
Not
around.
even lucky. It's not, give me time. I love you guys, all of you. I wish you well, but please give me time. Let me serve community. Let me serve my sons. Let me serve God. A time will come. Yeah, yes, I'm old. Yes, I'm old, but I know time will come. But what I know, I've never given up. I've never given up on love. Yes.
Wow. Chin, I would like you to talk to people who have always supported you and also remind my people maybe who are getting to watch you for the first time about your event that is coming up on Saturday.
Thank you. Yeah, basically, I want to first of all thank everyone who has supported me, especially when I was in hospital. I remember even my bill was too high because I deposited my card because my son was admitted in hospital the same year. So basically, I want to say, if you have ever supported me, when I'm talking about support, I mean financially, emotionally, sharing my post, praying for me, fighting for me. I want to thank you and may God bless you and may you never lack. I also want to tell other Kenyans, sometimes people will ask me, what does that CBO means? I have an organization that of the same work you've been seeing on social media, hearing about my good work, fighting for cases using my own money for the last 25 years. On Saturday 5th, I want to be online. And of course, physically, I have a few friends and family. We want to be launching now the foundation called Trimo Humanitarian Watch. It's a CBO, means community-based organization. So that means I'm inviting people officially from Saturday to come and help me serve community in a better way. Let us have that kit. Because I remember the last case I did of Michelle. Remember that child was being thrown in Mama Lucy Hospital? Yeah. I did that case alone. I involved the media. Another one I went to Meru, another one I went to Mombasa. I did using my own resources. And you see, sometimes even cases come from orphans, from individuals. I don't have money in the kit to pay a lawyer, even to fuel my car to go where the person is. When you have that kit, I can be borrowing that money to handle that cases. So I was telling Kenyans, you can register with 50 bob. I've given the pay bill number. It is 400 200, account number 400 922 56. This is the account number you can register to be a member of CBO. Advantages of registering yourself, it's because when you're a member, I'm going to lie down everybody. You can have a matter that you need attention, you don't have money. But because you're a member of the CBO, it becomes easier for you to be assisted. And again, even when I'm not there, this gospel of giving back to community, serving humanity, it's good for the people who don't know where to give back to. Maybe they have even shoes, some of them have toys, they have food stuff. When you bring the money to me, when you bring the food to me, I divide it into 4 different children's homes that I support. One in Kirinyaga County, in Nairobi we have 2, Mombasa we have another one. And basically, because I've been serving community a lot, Those people, orphans, they have never understood Jane Mugo got an accident, Jane Mugo got into politics, so they believe the same way Jane could bring food weekly, daily, is I can't do it anymore. So I'll be launching that foundation so that I have some kit I can help people with. So I don't mind how you support me. Be it be finance, 50 bob, 1,000, 200, or even food stuff, whatever you bring, it will want to go to different orphans. Yes.
Wow, talking of politics, do you have a plan of coming back 2027?
No. Maybe niende kuiba kura. Sitaki. I
So
was
you
there.
believe
I
kura
was
zako
there.
ziliibwa?
Not believe. I'm telling you, if you have a friend, I know you have friends from Kirinyaga, ask them. By the time it reached 12, I think at 12 a.m. in the morning, I was number 1 as women lap in Kirinyaga County. I would just even I'm hard from where I was living nearby to Kirugia to wait for the certificate. And I slept innocently. But imagine, unfortunately, some 2 guys, I don't want to mention their names because Kirinyaga people know them, who believe Jane Mugo is very tough for them. You know, even men and even politicians fear strong women. They say this woman is going to disturb us because she's very strong. And again, one of them was like, she once investigated me. So the ballot papers, I thank God I shared evidence on my page. And it was even trending, that story. Took my papers, the papers that are made in the ballot, ticked for my opponent and said, let us have this as women, like somebody they can manipulate, somebody they can control, but they cannot control Jane Mugo.
So you feel like
I don't feel like it happened, yes.
Some men feel intimidated by you?
Yes, not even me actually, even you today. If you're strong and you can sit down and question someone, of course a man or somebody is going to get intimidated. So when you are a strong woman, we call them women of steel, men will get intimidated. And that's why coward men, you'd always find them using pseudo accounts to attack women on social media. Because if you meet the same guys, tell them, ulisema nini, they will not answer you. So they're just coward because they think the only thing they can hurt you because you're a strong man or even you're a strong woman. Strong women, even women of status, they get to be feared, they get to intimidate some men. And the only thing I want to tell women, and even I want to tell men, just be strong and keep on moving, believe in yourself, believe in God, love everybody, be careful, don't trust everyone. And God will always bless your work and God will always bless you. So I'm hoping and I'm positive on 5th of November at by 11 a.m. we want to be online, and I'm hoping people want to be able to come through, support me. I love the PB number learning, but I'll be telling also Kenyans, all my followers, what have I done for 25 years. I've built a police station, I've built churches, I've built orphanage homes with friends. So it's my time to have my own rescue center so that I can be able to assist people. Those children, they are raped, defiled, human trafficking, they have been used in drugs. They can stay in my center rather than me moving from different orphanage home going to assist. I want to have my own. That's the only legacy I can do and I leave to my fellow Kenyans. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Jane.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate for your time, taking your time. We know you're usually very busy.
I know.
And you came
Yes.
and we had this conversation. We don't take it for granted.
I know.
And we know my people out there, they're going to support you coming 5th.
Yes. Yeah.
We will come and support you where we can. Guys, in case you're watching this video,
Thank you.
make sure you support where you can. It's not only about money, by the way.
Yes,
If you
true.
have some clothes, some foodstuffs,
Yes.
anything that you'd like to give out.
Even free services.
Yeah, free
Yes.
services, anything that you feel you can give back to the society. Feel free to reach her out on her social media.
Yes, I also have a page called Trimo Humanitarian Watch, CBO. It's one and it's doing very well.
Yeah, you can reach her out and
I can give my number also.
yeah, you can also give out your
Yes,
number.
I also have a number. I have a WhatsApp number actually. You can send your questions 0722 237 547. That's the mobile number. You can also use my email trimokenya@gmail.com. You can also get into my Facebook page, Jane Mugo. You can get into my Instagram, janemugo.trimo. Sometimes I dance TikTok, Detective Jane Mugo. I'm on Twitter, Dr. Detective Jane Mugo. You can also go and send me a private message how you want to help. If it's also here, she's my small sister, but you're doing good, beautiful work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can also reach her because she has my personal number, and then you can do much together.
Yeah. That is it, guys, about today's video. In case you're watching this video, make sure you subscribe. Kama unaiwatch pale Facebook, make sure you follow us pale at Mungai Eve. I know there are so many pages there, but the one that is mine is the one that we are around, I think, 67,000 followers. Make sure you give us a follow. Nowadays, we are very active. We are keeping you busy, guys. So make sure you follow us pale Facebook. And we'll meet in the next video.
Thank you.